A couple of years back I bought a domestic dehumidifier from a junk shop for £5. Pretty good price. They generally retail at probably 150 quid. Fired it up, seemed to be working vaguely, but not a lot of water dripping out. But I discovered that the condenser plate was absolutely clogged up with dirt and dust, so there was basically no air circulating through it. The principle of these things is quite simple. You've got a fan which draws air through a condenser. The moisture in it condenses, runs into a little drip tray and drips out. Then it goes through the second plate, which is the kind of hot side of the refrigeration process. It's blown out the other side and the air circulates in and out until the moisture is withdrawn from the air. Problem I had with this one, after a couple of years running, the motor that drives the fan died on me. I emailed the manufacturer, didn't get a response, so figured I could replace the motor. It was a shaded pole, skeletal frame, 240 volt motor. The trouble is, when I went online, there was a huge array of them. I didn't know how many RPMs it needed, how many watts it needed, and plus they were 25 or 30 quid, so it was a bit of a gamble. Then I figured all it needed really was a fan to suck the air through, so I looked for a ring mounted axial fan. Again, 20 or 30 quid, but range of diameters that would fit the hole. Still a bit of a chance though. I knew the direction that I needed of rotation, and I needed one that sucked. I did a few calculations and compared fans and their cubic feet per minute rate flows, and found one on eBay that looked like it should do the job just for 10 quid. Worth a gamble. The direction of rotation was right. It was a suck, and the ring mount was such that it would fit nicely into the orifice that I had at the back of the dehumidifier. First thing to do was remove the old motor, which is just a question of hacksawing off the standoffs that held the frame that held the motor. And then the second job was with a hot knife to cut out the plastic so that it would take the diameter of the fan. That was fairly easy. Drilled holes through and used coach clips to secure it, because obviously I couldn't put nuts and bolts because I couldn't actually get my hand into the back. That was okay. Wired it up. It's AC, so as far as I can tell, it doesn't actually matter which way around you connect the two wires to the motor. And connected the earth wire to the chassis. The other thing I had to do, of course, using the same hot knife technique, was cut a hole in the rear of the case of the dehumidifier so that the dehumidified air could blow out from the back. So fired it up and it worked quite happily. The motor gets a bit warm because it is pulling air through the two cooling and heat plates, but there was a good drip rate and it's doing the job. And it's only cost me 10 quid to sort it out. Couple of words of warning: my fan blades are exposed, as you can see. If you've got small kids around, I suggest you fit a guard. Secondly, you're working with mains voltages here, which can kill. Do make sure you unplug from the mains so you've no possibility of getting a shock. Hope this has been helpful. If you've got any questions, please post them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them, as long as they're not too complicated. And I'll leave you with the happy sound of my dehumidifier humming away and water dripping out. Thanks for watching.